Now, let's talk to Vanessa Frake, who's our favourite former prison governor, because we hear from Operation Early Dawn, which has just happened, that an emergency measure has been triggered by the Ministry of Justice to deal with prison overcrowding, which basically means defendants will stay in police custody and they won't be transferred to magistrates' courts for bail hearings in case there is no space in cells for them to go to. Seems mad. Let's find out if it's going to work. Vanessa, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike.
Thanks very much for joining us. I mean, I don't quite know whether this is a good idea or not. What do you think?
I think it's desperate measures, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, you know, the justice system has come to the grinding halt, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a very sad state of affairs where you've got a prison that has no space for prisoners. I mean, what is that all about?
Right.
But, you know, I think we've actually just slowed the justice system down, and that's bad for victims, it's bad for witnesses, and at the end of the day it's also bad for prisoners. We might not think that's a bad thing, but it is.
Right. Because, I mean, the police often say to me that one of the reasons that they have difficulty in sort of holding people is they don't really have enough police cells anymore, because so many police stations have been shut down. I mean, my local police station in South East London was shut down a few years ago, and it's not been replaced with anything as far as I know. So whatever the cell count was there, it means that there's fewer places for people to be held in London.
Yeah, and that's absolutely true. And also that they haven't actually got the staff to man police cells like they do a prison. And those prisoners that are kept in police cells, apart from costing £400 a night per prisoner, which is what it costs, it also, they're very cramped spaces. They don't have access to exercise, to you know, the things that they would get in a prison.
Right.
So it's totally not sustainable in any stretch of the imagination.
And also, surely, if you're holding people, I mean, call me old-fashioned, but if you start adding things up on your fingers and you go, right, if you're holding people in cells in police stations because they can't be put into custody anywhere else, surely it means that if you then bring people into the police station who need to be held, there's no room for them to go either.
Yeah, and this is the whole crux of the matter. This is why I would imagine that they can't wish the 23rd of May here quick enough, because clearly the 18 days, then the 30 days has not released enough prison places. So now they've gone up to 70 days. Again, you know, this is not ideal in any stretch of the imagination, but it's a necessity. We cannot have a prison service that doesn't take prisoners. It's just ridiculous.
It's mad, isn't it? I mean, I'm glad I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking, but I thought it can't be this stupid an idea. Surely to God, they haven't come up with something this stupid, but it appears they have. Apparently it's running in London and also in the North East. But here's what a Ministry of Justice spokesman said, right? Basically, we continue to see pressure on our prisons following the impact of the pandemic and the barristers' strike. Well, the barristers' strike was over ages ago, and the pandemic finished, you know, at least 2 years ago, didn't it?
Yes, it did. I think, you know, they've used that quote for, you know, the last couple of months. But again, this is the prison service, you know, being reactive rather than proactive.
Yeah.
You know, 10 years ago, we were locking up 44,000. Roll on 10 years, we're 88,000. You know, it's not rocket science to see that investment should have happened in our old Victorian jails, building new prison places, and focusing on reducing reoffending and not letting criminals get on this roundabout of coming into jail, going out, committing crime and going back into jail.
Yeah. I mean, you might think that somebody in the Ministry of Justice would have a clue about the fact that maybe it might just be worth building some more prisons and creating a bit more capacity, or at least even converting some kind of, you know, other buildings that have been used for other things in the same way that we did those Nightingale hospitals. I mean, couldn't you sort of suddenly say, right, well, here's a warehouse somewhere, we can sort of somehow turn it into a holding pen of some kind?
Well, I suppose you could. I mean, I would have liked to have seen it as a 7th point on Keir Starmer's list, to be honest, to sort our justice system out. But unfortunately, like you, I can't quite work out what his list means.
Well, he's going to struggle, isn't he, with clamping down on antisocial behaviour, because he can't threaten her with prison time because there aren't any spaces.
No, not at all. You know, I think that you need to look at the cause of the antisocial behaviour rather than the reaction and locking people up. What we don't need in this country is more prisoners being locked up to get on the crime roundabout.
No, exactly right. It's an absolute shambles. Vanessa, great to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Vanessa Frake there, former prison governor.